Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Joy of Christmas book tag. This tag was created by Sam's Cozy Corner and I'll list that video down below for you guys. So without any preamble, we're just going to jump right into the questions. Question number 1, anticipation. The Christmas excitement is real. What book release or releases are you most anticipating? I've already done a video on this, but after I had filmed the video and was in the process of editing it, I saw My Name is Miranda's video on her anticipated reads, and she had listed Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have loved everything that I've read by Elizabeth, that I'm super excited for it. Had I known that her book existed, I would have had that book in my video. But alas, I found out after the fact, so it will go in this one. I am most excited for Family Lore now that I know that it exists. Question number 2, Christmas songs and carols. What book or author can you not help but sing its praises? Honestly, one of my Insta-buy authors is Lucy Knisley. She does graphic novels, and for the most part, they're usually memoirs. Like she has done like fictionalized graphic novels in the past, but I love her art style. Or at least really enjoyed everything that I've read by her. And I want to say, for the most part, I have read almost everything by her. Anytime I see her name at the library, I immediately have to pick it up. I'm like, ooh, I haven't read you yet. What are you? I'm curious now. Have I actually read everything by Lucy? Oh no, there are like a handful of things I have not read, but I've read a lot of her stuff. And I think there's maybe one thing out of everything that I read was 3-star, but everything else is 4 or 5 stars. I love her stuff. I especially recommend her travelogues, by the way. Displacements and, what's the other one? An Age of License. Oh, especially Age of License. And if you're a real foodie, read Relish. Question number 3, Gingerbread Houses. What book or series has wonderful world building? And I have the Iron Druid Chronicles by Kevin Hearn. I'm actually really behind on this series. I've been meaning to pick it back up because I've really enjoyed it. It's basically about like this Iron Druid who's like lived throughout the ages, and he's now in like modern day Arizona. It's wonderfully written, and even though yes, it's set in the modern day, we find out a lot about like the Irish gods and like the different mythical creatures in that world. It's fabulous. It's amazing. And I definitely highly recommend the audiobooks as well. I can't think of the actor's name. He's fantastic. Question number 4, A Christmas Carol. Favorite classic or one that you want to read? So I'm going to answer both. I think my favorite classic is actually Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. And to be fair, I saw the movie first. I saw the movie with like Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, and I just fell in love with the movie. It's one of my comfort watches. I will rewatch that movie. That's how much I love it. And I've loved that movie so much that I immediately, as soon as I found out that it was a book, because I of course watched the movie rather young since the movie came out in the 90s. I read the book. I loved the book, and that is definitely one of my favorite classics. One that I want to read one day is like Wuthering Heights. I see it on my For You page on TikTok. I see it almost like in every corner of like this whatever online space is talking about classics. So that's definitely been on my to-read list for a while. And I don't know if you can hear it, but someone's doing yard work outside. I can't do nothing about it. Sorry. The only thing I know about Wuthering Heights is it's rather messed up. So I think I'm going to have to make sure I read it when I'm in really great headspace for it. Question number 5, Christmas sweets. What book would you love to receive for Christmas? And honestly, it would be a Christmas miracle at this point. I want to read, I want to receive, I want to have in my hands My Favorite Thing is Monsters, Volume 2 by, I think, Emily Ferris. I don't have the author's name written down, but it's a graphic novel that's set in like the 80s that follows this younger girl. I can't say she's a little girl. I was preteen. She loves like horror movies, and she's kind of investigating her neighbor with these like mysterious tapes. And this book came out like several years ago, and it's been like a couple years since volume 2 was meant to come out. In fact, I've been on the wait list at my library for that long. Usually what my library will do is if it knows it's going to be published soon and they know they will be purchasing it, they will create a record for it in our system. As soon as I found out that existed, I'm like, oh, I'm putting my name on the list. It's been a couple years now, and I have to, and you're only like on the list for a year, otherwise it then expires and then automatically boots you out. I have to update it every year to make sure I stay on that list because I want that book. At least at this point, I'm definitely one of the top people that's requested it. Apparently someone else knows to update their request list because they also keep updating it because I'm not number one. I'm watching you, friend. But yeah, I want that book. Publish that book, please, universe. Question number 6. After that, very passionate rant. Candles in the Window. What book gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling? And I really liked The Secret Life of Albert Entwistle. I thought that was very sweet. It basically follows like this postal worker in the UK, and he's set to retire, and he's been in the closet for his entire life, and he's been scared and anxious at the world, and being forced to retire makes him confront certain things, and he starts to bloom and blossom and to really start his life. And that really does start some really warm, fuzzy feelings. And I hate that. I feel like that is getting super loud now. Watch, I'm probably like just losing my mind and you can't even hear it on the microphone. Anyways, these people like to do this at 8 a.m. when I'm barely opening my eyes. And why are they here now? Question number 7, Christmas trees and decorations. What are some of your favorite book covers? And I really struggled with this question because I was like, well, what are my favorites? Like, what kind of covers do I like gravitate to? And I think I like covers that kind of like, they're really simplistic, but still give me an inkling what's happening in the story. Like, for example, of stuff that I don't really like are like the Leigh Bardugo covers. They're very cool looking, but they don't really tell me what's going on. And in the age where when you flip over the book and you don't see a synopsis, you just see like quotes by people, I need something. Give me something that I know what I'm like going into. And of course, like not to be super shallow, but kind of shallow, like the aesthetic still does need to hit me a certain way. Examples that I do like, I would have to say The Night Circus, Moonstruck, A Monster Calls, One Last Stop, Apple Crush, Cassidy Blake, all of the books in that series, I think, and Sarah Scribbles. So several examples there. And the last question, Christmas joy. What are some of your favorite things about Christmas and or some of your favorite Christmas memories? So I think one of my biggest Christmas memories that I like hold with a lot of regard is that my hometown does this like festival of trees. I remember going as a child when it first started, and it was just a room with maybe 5 trees. And then next year it was 10 trees. And then it has since evolved into this massive thing, which is, it's like a big town thing that's a lot of town pride, that a lot of businesses will donate a tree, like they'll decorate a tree in like a certain theme, donate it. And the idea is like, it's meant to raise money for the town's historical society. And so you donate the tree and people will like buy raffles and try to win a tree. There's like wreaths now at this point. It's really massive, and it's so cool walking into this room and there's like I want to say it's over 100 trees. It feels like it's over 100 trees. It's just so big. And I went to like the town that I live in now. I went to their festival of trees, and it's not quite the same. I think other favorites is my favorite Christmas movie is The Muppet Christmas Carol. I didn't necessarily love it as a child, but now it's like a lot of nostalgia and now I get a lot of the jokes too. Iconic. And I think we'll end on like my favorite like Christmas treats. Every year I make cherry nut bread, sugar cookies, peanut butter cookies, oatmeal cookies. But I think my absolute favorite thing that I make is this cranberry orange bread, and it's so good. It's so delicious. And it's a nice change of pace for everything that's sweet because it's like very tangy. It's very different from like what we normally find for Christmas treats. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. A nice quick tag video. Let me know how you would answer some of these questions down below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I guess it's ta-ta for now. Bye guys.